Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and I'm in Bom Jesus, Portugal. We're above Braga. It's the day after the 2016 IAU Trail World Championships. I'm with women's third place finisher, who is of the Netherlands, Ragna Debats. Congratulations!
Thank you very much.
So this is my first time watching you race, and also our first interview with you on I Run Far. You're from the Netherlands, but you live in Catalonia now?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I grew up in Holland.
Okay.
But when I was 19 years old, I went to live in Germany for a couple of years. I was into horse riding, and I studied to be a professional horse trainer.
Oh, no kidding.
So no running at all. I just sat on a horse all day doing dressage. And that sport took me to England. So I lived in England for a couple of years as well. And I studied languages, and then I came to Spain, where I found my husband, and, and I stayed in Spain. And when I started living in Spain, I started with the horse riding, and I needed some other sport. So first I started cycling, but I found it a bit difficult on a bicycle to go on the trails. So I thought it's much easier to go running than on the bike. So that's how I started running.
Wow. So how many years ago did you start with the running on the trails?
I think it must be about 7 years ago now.
7 years. And outside of running, I saw your daughter, you're a mom. And what else do you do in addition to running and being a mom?
I work as a commercial, and it's a work I can do from home.
What kind of work?
Commercial, like selling scrap.
Ah, okay.
Buying and selling scrap. It's an English company, and I deal with the international contacts.
Okay.
Mainly with Spain and Holland and Germany.
Okay. So it's a work-at-home job.
Yeah.
And that's why you know so many different languages also.
I guess so, yeah. And also because I live in different countries.
In what part of Catalonia are you from?
I'm from a place near Barcelona.
Okay. So out in the flats or in the mountains or?
We live in, it's a bit in the middle. We don't really live in the mountains, but we have some mountainous terrain close to us.
Okay.
Which is not very high, but it's good enough to train during the week. And normally in the weekends we go to the Pyrenees, for example, or to other mountains. So we have good training options, I think.
So about 7 years ago you started trail running, and yesterday was your first 80-kilometer race.
Yeah, that's right.
So have you been focusing mostly on shorter distance trail races, or what has been your trail running career so far?
I think it took me a couple of years to really get my body used to running, because I'd never run before. When I started running, I had a lot of physical problems, because I think also because it's a sport with a lot of impact. And before I was sitting on a horse, you have no impact, zero impact. So especially my bones were not used to it, so I had a lot of stress fractures because of that. So the first couple of years I did really well, performed well on local, national competitions, but I had to stop all the time, so I couldn't train continuously. I never got to a good state of but when I got pregnant, I stopped for a whole year, and I think it was good to do like a reset for my body. And then when I started running, I didn't have so much time anymore, so I had to really train well. I couldn't just go running like a couple of hours because I didn't have the time for it. So I started doing shorter sessions, but with a lot of interval trainings, and that was last year, and it worked out really well. And this year we really started working with my training properly. So it's really the first year, and I think I've discovered how I have to train to be strong. So I expect next year to be better than this year. But this year, because I didn't know how it was going, I focused on the Spanish Cup, which I won. And apart from that, I went to the sky running, the sky races from the ISF. and I came fourth, but I didn't really focus on doing as best as I could. I didn't go to all the competitions. I just went to random races. And next year, I hope I can do better, and I want to focus more on it and try to get better results.
Let's talk about yesterday's race. You said a few moments ago before our interview that you took a very conservative mindset because it was your first time racing 80K.
I knew I was well prepared. I prepared it really well in nutrition, training, everything really. So I knew I was ready for it. But of course, I didn't know how my body was going to react to so many kilometers. So I started slowly, let the first ones go, and I started with a girl who's very experienced to see what kind of pace she got.
Who was that?
Gemma Arena.
Okay.
And then I felt I was a lot stronger in the uphill, so I thought I can't stay with her because it's a waste of time. So I carried on by myself, and I felt really good. So I thought I just have to go with my feelings and just see what happens. I thought it can either be a fiasco, or maybe or maybe it goes well with. I expected to be in between the 5th and the 10th place maybe, but I didn't expect to be there and to fight for a place on the podium. So that was something I didn't expect. I wasn't really ready for it, I think, because it was still in my mind. I was thinking about how to do the race, not doing the race and also fighting for a podium place. There were too many things really, because I didn't know if I got to the end in a good state. So during, I think, about 30 kilometers nearly, I was very close to Azara, who got second in the end. So it was a great pressure for me because, of course, I wanted to be second or even win.
Yeah.
And at some point, I think that we had the first girl at 1.5 minutes and Azara at 30 seconds. So and I was going faster than they were. So I thought, it's not impossible. I can win. And but then we got to the hardest, the last longest climb.
The final climb was that the one between 65k and 75k?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was a very steep climb.
Okay.
Which when I'm tired, it is not my.
The very steepest.
Yeah,
parts.
yeah.
Okay.
It's my I think it's a weak point for me. So I couldn't really get the best of that climb. I think there I had an opportunity. I would have had an opportunity to pass, maybe to move up, but it wasn't in me. So we stayed the same, and after so many kilometers behind her, in the end, it was enough for me. So I said, okay, I'll just finish, and I'm happy with the third place. It's above my expectations. So very pleased.
The women's podium was very close, like late in the race at 65k. As you said, the three of you were just a few minutes
just
apart.
before that climb. Yeah.
For me, as an observer to a race, that's the kind of thing that you might see in like a 40k race or a race where you've been racing for 4 hours or something. What was it like? And this was, 9 hours and a half, 9 hours and 45 minutes. What was it like to have to stay mentally in it for such a long period of time?
To concentrate, you mean?
Right.
Like,
and to be willing and able to battle in those final kilometers.
I don't know what makes you do it, really. I went... It was really hard. That was for me the hardest bit of the race.
Okay.
That's why in the end I said, okay, she gets second, I get third. It's okay with me. Because in the end I had enough of it. Because it's a big pressure, I think. It's a lot easier to go by yourself and okay, maybe there's somebody at 6 minutes and the one behind is at 6 minutes. So I have my place and I can
Right.
go a little slower
Right.
here, a bit faster here, and more or less I'll get here.
Right.
But I went from post to post. So when I got to one post, I planned the food I was going to take, the drinks and everything, and I focused on the next point. So 10 kilometers it was in the last post, suppose. So that was my like my focus.
Your mindset.
Yeah, my mindset.
Make it this section, then this
Yeah.
section, then this
Yeah.
section. My last question for you. Portugal is a bit of an unknown place for trail runners. Yesterday's course was really quite technical, but it shared some similarities to, say, running in the Pyrenees. Can you describe a little bit like what the course was like?
It was pretty technical. The beginning, it was dark the first 3 hours.
Yeah.
We went through a lot of forests. I would have liked to see them more because I think there were a lot of eucalyptus trees.
Uh-huh. You
The
could
forests
smell
are
them,
really
couldn't
nice.
you?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I really like the terrain. It's really a lot of green and a lot of filled with. It's a very filled bog. Like
Okay.
there are a lot of vegetation. So it's nice. I think it's really nice. The surface, there were a lot of stones, which is also very typical of this place. I think there are, you get higher up, there are big rocks, and there are like blocks together, just like in the scenery. But there are also on the tracks there are parts of like smaller stones, but there are also parts roads made of blocks.
Okay.
So which makes it quite hard because it's not like like asphalt or something.
Right.
It's difficult to run on it. You have to jump from stone to stone sometimes,
And look where
sometimes
each
they
foot
are a bit
goes.
slippery.
Okay.
Yeah, it was quite a tough terrain. Yeah.
Going home from your first IAU Trail World Championships with a bronze medal, does that make you eager to try a race like this again and see what potential you do have?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've just done we've just been on stage, and when I was there, I just thought I think I can do this better, and I want to do it better. So it's really like I'm craving to get higher on the stage.
Hungry for more.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you on your third place finish.
Thank you very much.
We'll look forward to seeing you next year in Italy.
Thank you. Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.